This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Frustrated, annoyed, and stuck. That's how many people living in a 55-plus building in Osborne Village are feeling. There are only 2 elevators in the high-rise, and both are out of order. And while the management company says it's doing everything it can to fix them, for some, it's not happening fast enough. CBC's Gavin Axelrod shows us how people are getting by.
We can't do this every day. There's no way.
Judy Alfonso is forced to walk up the stairs to her 16th floor apartment in Osborne Village. The elevators haven't worked since the power went out last Thursday.
Worried about a fire, if there was a fire or something.
The building is for people 55 or older. From cooking to errands, Alfonso's doing what she can to help.
Lots of people are very isolated. Meal programs have been cancelled. I have made potato soup, I've made pastas, I've been taking food to those that are in need. I have let people know if anyone on your floor needs a meal, I will, start at 4 and end at 6.
On her way upstairs Monday, she stopped on the 8th floor to check on Bob Kress.
If it wouldn't be for this young lady here and friends of mine getting me stuff, I'd be stuck.
Manitoba Hydro says a squirrel caused the power outage, but it doesn't know why the elevator stopped working. January Malillo is the building manager with Murdoch Management. She says parts to fix the elevator aren't in Manitoba. New parts have been ordered.
Hoping for the soonest resolution and the quickest end to this.
Malillo says medications are being dropped off multiple times a day. There are home care workers doing the stairs too. Frank Neufeld lives in the building and is the assistant caretaker.
The company itself has a young man in there that's helping people carry groceries up, which is a godsend because you need to be able to have someone to help you carry those groceries upstairs.
A notice posted Friday says it could take 5 business days to get the elevators fixed. The building manager says some people are staying with family until the elevators are back working. Alfonso says some of the people she's helping feel abandoned because of the situation, but she doesn't blame the management company. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
It's an intersection that not only divided the road, but many Winnipeggers. People landed on 2 sides of the contentious debate on Portage and Main, either team open or team closed. Now, more than 4 months after barriers were removed and people were able to cross the street once again, were fears of traffic mayhem warranted? CBC's Chloe Friesen checked it out.
Turns out doing this doesn't make much of a difference for rush hour traffic. Back in 2018, a Probe research poll discovered the 3 main reasons Winnipeggers opposed reopening Portage and Main: the cost, the potential for collisions, and traffic snarls. But new data from the city of Winnipeg shows that pedestrians crossing the famous intersection have had little to no impact on travel times for motorists. The city says they conducted a travel time analysis, comparing data collected before the intersection was opened and after. It showed that morning rush hour traffic on northbound Main and eastbound Portage to Higgins didn't change at all. Traffic times for southbound Main and eastbound Portage to Assiniboine increased by about a minute. In the afternoon, travel time actually decreased by around a minute on northbound Main. All other routes increased from about 1 to 2 minutes, a change that the city describes as negligible.
It's very gratifying to see the data back up what we were saying all along.
Ian McCausland says he isn't surprised by the findings. He was part of the Vote Open group calling for this change back in 2018.
Rhetoric got quite heated and quite a few people were convinced that we would see a lot of traffic deaths.
The city says that just over 3,500 pedestrians now cross Portage and Main daily, and they've all crossed safely. Gino DeStasio is a professor of urban geography at the University of Winnipeg.
It's not about vindication. It's just about the fact that we now have a vibrant intersection where one didn't exist before.
DeStasio says the underground concourse may have played a role in Winnipeggers' fear of pedestrians causing traffic chaos.
Well, I think it's just this idea that, the bunkers were put in for that very fact, that we needed to expedite people moving through Portage and Main faster. and that any limitations to that would impact transportation.
DeStasio hopes the city will do more to draw people to the intersection and the downtown. A more difficult challenge as the temperatures drop and the snow starts to fly. This will be the first winter in 46 years where this intersection, known as Canada's windiest corner, will be open to pedestrians. Chloe Friesen, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Police are searching for 2 suspects who took off in a stolen truck that rolled over on a busy Winnipeg street. This is dash cam video taken of the crash on Regent Avenue Friday. A black truck can be seen crossing from the right-hand shoulder of the road in front of oncoming traffic. It rolls into the ditch before other drivers stop. Then it's seen pulling back onto the road and taking off. RCMP say the truck was stolen from Lockport that morning after it had been left running. 2 suspects were seen on surveillance video jumping into it and taking off. Winnipeg police eventually found it abandoned on Panet Road shortly after 5 p.m. No one has been arrested. A man from Mexico says he worked long hours, 7 days a week, for nearly a year without proper pay from a hotel chain. He says he's owed tens of thousands of dollars. As CBC News found out, that same chain has a history of labor violations. Arturo Chang reports.
I don't know what's happened. I am him. I'm sitting in the selfie.
This is Victor Padilla-Ruiz asking one of his employers what happened to his work permit. The Mexican national came to Canada over 3 years ago to work at Western Star, a Saskatchewan-based hotel chain. He gave us this footage from his time working at the hotel's Melita location. Padilla-Ruiz says he worked illegally because he believed the hotel would get him the work permit, but that never happened.
I asked too many times, when will I apply for my work permit? Okay, I was enough and I tell them, okay, I'm gonna leave the hotel.
Western Star was being investigated in 3 jurisdictions as of early this year, according to emails seen by CBC. In Manitoba, they were ordered to pay Padilla-Ruiz nearly $85,000 in owed wages. Padilla-Ruiz says the employer appealed and there's no decision yet, so he hasn't got the money. The money owed goes back to when he was working in Melita. We talked to other workers with similar stories. One told CBC News in Spanish, working for Western Star took a mental toll he's still recovering from. Quote, "If I hadn't realized, they would have had me working without status in the country until who knows when," unquote.
CBC is not naming the worker because he fears it may affect his immigration status. Western Star's owners denied the hotel illegally hired foreign workers.
The owner told him he would no longer be paid for overtime.
After this CBC report in 2014, the hotel chain was suspended from hiring temporary foreign workers. Padilla-Ruiz says he was fired in 2024 because of another immigration investigation.
It's not the life I thinking I will live in Canada, but it's just I try to fix my situation.
Carrie Collins with ACT, or the Action Coalition on Human Trafficking in Alberta, says she sees cases like this often.
The employer will say, if you work for me for 2 years for this wage, then I can get you a permanent residency.
ACT Alberta says there are too many gaps that allow employers to exploit foreign workers. They would like to see tougher penalties. The organization helped Padilla-Ruiz get a work permit, so after more than 3 years, he's finally working in Canada legally. Arturo Chang, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, time now to bring in weather specialist Riley Lachuk. And Riley, not long ago, we were talking to people about that change from Environment Canada about the weather systems, the warnings, the watches that we've talked about for so long. Going to get your workout in, going over all of those for the next few days.
Yes, that's right, Brittany. We have a yellow alert in place right now, a yellow watch, a yellow winter storm watch in place for parts of Westman, Brandon, over toward Austin, McGregor, Killarney, Boissevain, into the Parkland. This is because us of a pretty potent area of low pressure that'll work its way through the province as we get into the day on Tuesday, tapering off into Wednesday. Some parts of Westman, particularly some of those higher elevations, have the potential to see up to 20 centimeters of snow by the time we get into the morning hours on Wednesday. So we had that first push of snow that pushed through that first really quick clipper, did lead to some closures back into parts of Westman through the afternoon hours. That's now starting to taper off as it pushes through Winnipeg into the Red River Valley. A few more flurries yet to come as we get through the evening for Winnipeg into southeastern Manitoba. But as we get into the overnight hours, I think we are looking at even some clear breaks through the night tonight. Minus 16 overnight in Winnipeg. We start cloudy once again, but we'll see that snow starting through the early morning hours in the west at minus 13 in Winnipeg, and looking at that snow pushing into the Red River Valley by the time we get into the afternoon. By the time we get to about the supper hour tomorrow, most likely 2 to 4 centimeters in Winnipeg, but close to 10 plus in parts of western Manitoba, Brittany. Minus 9 in Winnipeg tomorrow. We'll talk about that snow and then a return to some much cooler than seasonal air to the province when I come back in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Struggling to make ends meet, why more and more university students are heading to the food bank to help. That's next. City Council will soon decide whether or not to scrap a bird-friendly bylaw. The bird-safe window treatments help reduce the risk of them flying into the glass and dying. And while the rules came into effect less than a year ago, developers want to see them dropped. CBC's Bryce Hoy reports.
This blackpoll warbler survived its long flight from South America only to hit a Winnipeg building and die during spring migration.
It seems sad that we are impacting that to a certain extent in a way that we could maybe improve their chances.
Winnipeg did adopt a bylaw to prevent birds from flying into windows. It came into effect earlier this year. It applies to developers working to build up housing density around mall sites like Polo Park or Kildonan Place and along major roadways like Portage Avenue and Pembina Highway. The rules don't apply to downtown. Decals and special glazes on windows can be used to reduce the numbers of birds striking windows, but now the city wants to scrap its requirements based on industry feedback. Lanny McInnes works with the Home Builders Association. He says window treatments are expensive and don't solve the problem.
There's very little benefit, if any, and at the same time, pretty significant additional costs and supply chain issues to actually source that.
Some researchers disagree.
This exists in every market where buildings are constructed in North America, so I don't really buy that.
Flap Canada estimates bird-safe glazings add about 1% to overall costs on a 40-story residential build.
The materials are widely available, and they're not going to really impact a budget for a building.
Environment Canada estimates 270 million birds die in Canada each year as a result of human activity. Leading causes include cats at 100 million plus birds. Window collisions cause about 25 million bird deaths annually. In one study, bird-safe windows were over 90% effective at reducing deaths. A University of Manitoba researcher says the bylaw was a step forward.
And then probably before it's really had a chance to make much of an impact on those birds hitting our buildings, it's being revoked. So I'm kind of surprised and shocked that there's this change being proposed.
Council will decide on the proposed amendments on December 18th. Bryce Hoy, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Food bank usage is on the rise. Every month, around 60,000 Manitobans need the help of one. People are struggling, and students are no different. Between juggling tuition, transportation, and other costs, the number of students using it is expected to go up even more in the new year. Tony de Guzman reports.
The food on these shelves is in high demand. With the rising cost of groceries, many students are turning to food banks. Aisha Evelyn says the service at the University of Manitoba makes it easier to get through the month, leaving enough in her wallet and stomach.
I don't want to dip in more than I need to, so having the food bank helps me, bolster my support and makes me more confident in being able to survive, essentially.
About 600 students at the University of Manitoba rely on the food bank monthly. The student union says it had close to 400 people signing up for its holiday hamper, which is a $150 gift card to a grocery store.
It was definitely shocking, but at the same time, we really appreciate the support that the students and the wider community provided to our Holiday Hampers program as well, where we had a record number of people applying for it.
18% of people who use food banks are college or university students, according to Harvest Manitoba's 2025 report. Jane Lastra has been overseeing the university's food bank for 29 years.
Many have expressed that they have found themselves in times of going without meals, having to trade meals for expenses in life.
Jasmine Lucero oversees the food bank at Red River College and says the need jumps during the holiday season.
The demand is definitely a lot higher than the supply that we have, and so we are trying to kind of get that to balance eventually, but yeah, right now the demand is a lot higher with the increase in the food prices.
Lucero says 56 students a month use the food bank, but about 600 students use the college's breakfast program monthly, which she says is up from 450 students a month last year. For CBC News, Tony de Guzman, Winnipeg.
A new proposed safe consumption site is being defended by the province's Minister of Addictions. The building at 366 Henry Street, north of Logan Avenue, was announced last week. It was proposed after the other site on Disraeli was rejected because of concerns of neighbors. The Henry site is also drawing criticism. The minister says people are using in the area, and this is a way to get people the services they need.
We know that we had 570 deaths last year. A good portion of those were out and around that area. But we also know that not only people are dying in the streets and overdosing in the streets, we know that people are overdosing in their homes.
The province is holding 2 community consultations on site this week. The first is tomorrow night at Silo Mission from 6 to 8. All right, Riley's back in now. And Riley, as we said, it's going to take some getting used to this new warning system that Environment Canada has rolled out. So we're already starting to see some of that, some snow rolling in, those roadways already getting treacherous in some parts of the province.
Prepare, Brittany, for a sloppy day across southern Manitoba tomorrow. Make sure you've got a good shovel would be a good thing to have if you're on the highways, your snow brush, an emergency kit, because we are looking at some pretty significant snow in some parts of western Manitoba. I'll show you the development of that on satellite and radar right now, because you can see that starting to form off in Alberta right now. So you can see on the right side of your screen, that's the quick clipper that pushed through Westman, through the Red River Valley today, bringing a little bit of snow. Here in Winnipeg, more like 2 to 4 centimeters on the top end, but into Alberta, this is the formation of that next area of low pressure. This one a bit more potent and packing a bit more of a punch as we get into the day on Tuesday. So that will start to push across Alberta into Saskatchewan as we get through the overnight hours. Enough warm air aloft, particularly into southeastern parts of Saskatchewan, as this warm front pushes through, just enough warm air in the atmosphere that this could trigger some freezing rain as we get into the early morning hours, most likely in a line from Estevan into Regina is where we have the best likelihood of seeing some freezing rain. But there is that risk in places like Melita, Pearson, for example, that you do get into some freezing rain first thing in the morning as well. It'll all be temperature dependent as we get into the overnight hours tonight. For the rest of western Manitoba, by the time we're into the morning hours, we're already into the snow, and this will continue to push eastward as we get throughout the day, but slipping southward as we get through the morning hours tomorrow as well. So Winnipeg, the Interlake really on the edge of the snowfall here, so it's going to be a bit tough to gauge just how much snow we're expecting, because there's still a little bit of play in the forecast track of this low as it pushes south of the border here. So there's a couple of different scenarios that we could see for the Red River Valley, but for Westman into the Parkland, this is where we are looking at the potential in some cases for up to 20 centimeters of snow by the time we get into the day on Wednesday here. Into Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, we do see a few residual flurries left in behind this. Then we'll try for a bit of clearing ahead of another weak disturbance that pushes across central parts of the province as we get into the day on Thursday. So this takes us out to 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. By the time the bulk of that system pushes south of the border, yes, some pockets where 10 to 20 centimeters are possible through into the Riding Mountain region, southwestern Manitoba. In Winnipeg, into the Interlake, that's 2 to 4, 6 centimeters most likely. I think these numbers, particularly as we push into Wednesday morning, a little bit on the high side for eastern parts of the province, but certainly within the realm of possibility that some parts of Westman do get into up to 20 centimeters of snow, throw in a little bit of wind, and we are looking at treacherous driving conditions in the west tomorrow. Looking at temperatures first thing around -10 for Winnipeg, and then we get into some cooler air in behind this, Brittany, -13 for Wednesday and all the way down to -21 by the time we get to the weekend.
All right, thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Another cold and snowy day across the south. More to come straight ahead. Syrians are marking 1 year since rebel forces toppled the old government, with its new one calling today Liberation Day. And after 13 years of war, it's being celebrated as a new era, with many of the hundreds of thousands of Syrians who fled the fighting now returning home to help rebuild their nation. The CBC's Briar Stewart has more.
This is the Onca border crossing between Turkey and Syria, and these trucks are getting ready to head back into Syria. They are loaded up with the belongings of families who have been living for years in Turkey and are now heading back home. Now, after the beginning of the war in Syria, more than 3 million refugees came to Turkey, first living in tents, then they settled in cities all across the country. And over the past year, since the fall of the Bashar al-Assad regime, Turkey says that more than 500,000 Syrians have returned back home. There are many other Syrians who would like to return home, but they say now is not the time because the communities aren't really livable. We obviously know that there was a lot of destruction during the war. It will take time for infrastructure to be rebuilt, for houses to be built. There are some areas still without electricity. Now, the issue of the Syrian refugees here does remain a political one in Turkey. Some people believe that the Syrians have made the economy even worse, raised the cost of rent. But at the same time, we did hear from Syrians that said they were very well treated here. They were able to settle into communities, to integrate, learn Turkish. The government says it's not putting pressure on anyone to leave, that the return program right now is voluntary, though they're certainly providing assistance, help with transportation, help with legal issues. If there are documents or paperwork that people are missing that they need to secure before making the trip. As I said, more than 500,000 have already returned to Syria, and many others are hoping to go, but they're just waiting to see when the right time is and when they'll be able to go back and live in their communities for good. Briar Stewart, CBC News, along the Onca border crossing between Turkey and Syria.
A powerful magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck off the north coast of Japan today. It triggered a tsunami of just over 2 feet. The Japanese government has since downgraded an earlier tsunami warning to an advisory. The International Atomic Energy Authority said it has received no reports any issues at Japan's nuclear facilities. In 2011, an earthquake and tsunami led to a massive radiation leak at the Fukushima nuclear plant. Ukraine's president says he hopes to share new peace proposals with the U.S. tomorrow. And he expects another meeting of the, quote, coalition of the willing that includes Canada next week. Volodymyr Zelensky made the comments as Ukraine faces punishing new Russian strikes. Zelensky had talks today in London with key European allies, discussions he described as productive. Zelensky is also urgently asking for more money to buy weapons. There's new evidence suggesting Ontario jails are heading towards a record year for overcrowding and lockdowns. It comes as new tough-on-crime bail reforms could bring even more prisoners into the system. CBC's Julie Ireton reports.
This would be the female dorms.
This woman spent 4 months inside this Ontario jail, awaiting her trial. Charged and later convicted of drug possession. CBC is not naming her for her protection.
The conditions and the way that you're treated as an inmate, you're not actually human in there.
There's an increasing number of women being incarcerated. In the past 6 years, 38% more women have been sent to jail. The vast majority are waiting for trial.
It's certainly shocking and alarming to see the huge growth in the number of women that are being held on the front end.
CBC's data analysis found overcrowding has become the norm in Ontario jails. Last summer, 22 of the province's 24 operating jails had more prisoners than beds. Frequently, 3 or even 4 inmates share cells meant for 2. But tough-on-crime messages could lead to new laws and more people in jail.
These changes will keep violent, repeat offenders of these crimes off our streets.
In fact, some judges have allowed accused to walk free. Cases have been stayed, citing human rights violations because of unsafe conditions and frequent lockdowns.
If you're one of these tough-on-crime people that cares about the proper administration of punishment in this province, then you should be very concerned that there's people getting discounts on sentences because of inadequate conditions.
The Ontario government proposes its own bail reforms and more jails.
We will be very, very aggressive in opening up new jails because in the end of the day, that means that if a person gets arrested, I have a place for them.
This Ottawa jail has been continuously over capacity for the past 3 years. The Ontario government has plans to expand and build new facilities, but in this region, a new jail won't be completed until at least 2032. Julie Ireton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Travelers flying with Air Transat might see their holiday plans facing some turbulence. Pilots for that airline could be on strike by Wednesday, and that could leave some passengers without a way home.
We try not to be stressed out when we travel for any reason, and this is just one of the hiccups. So we'll deal with it.
Happens, and you'll roll with it.
It's kind of the story of our life. Yeah.
The union representing 750 Air Transat pilots issued a 72-hour strike notice Sunday. The Canadian airline, which mostly services vacation destinations, has been scrambling to add extra flights to bring back passengers who were already away. A man from Montreal is finally reunited with a brother he didn't know he had after spending nearly 80 years apart. And it's all thanks to a DNA test. As John Ngala reports, the brothers say it's like starting a new life.
For nearly 80 years, Montrealer Frank McGrath went through life thinking he was an only child. That was until a DNA test taken by a Dutch man revealed he actually had a long-lost brother on a different continent.
The first time I saw him, I said to my wife, yeah, there's him.
It was a tearful moment. It was, again, very joyful. So he's my big brother and I'm the little brother.
Finally. The story of how the brothers came together started earlier this year when France's granddaughter received a DNA test as a gift. Amber Hogervors and her twin sister always had questions about their family's past.
We talked about our heritage and why we don't look Dutch and where it could came from.
The woman convinced their mother and France to take the MyHeritage DNA test.
One day I got the email saying I got a match and it said half-brother, so I texted my mom immediately telling her we have a Canadian half-brother.
And that's our father.
Back in Canada, Frank wanted to learn more about his Irish roots. He knew his parents met in the Netherlands, where his father delivered food to the Dutch during the Second World War.
He then met my mother and got married, and she emigrated as one of the Canadian war brides at the end of January in 1946.
He joined the website hoping to piece together more of his family tree, but he wasn't expecting to find a sibling.
I didn't have any inkling or any idea that he existed.
France didn't have any information on his biological father, but grew up with a stepfather. He's one of thousands of war babies born to European mothers and Canadian soldiers who were serving overseas. After Frank learned about his half-brother, he quickly made plans to travel to the Netherlands with his wife. The brothers stayed in touch, and in December, France, his wife, and Amber traveled to Montreal.
After 78 years, I know from my heritage.
It's the start of a new life, as old as we are. And we hope that we're going to continue to switch back and forth and see each other.
The brothers got to spend St. Nicholas Day together, a Dutch tradition that honors the saint who inspired Santa Claus. It was the first time for Frank, who was proud to say his family puzzle is complete.
It's lovely, because I know what it feels like to have a sister. I have a twin sister. So for my grandfather to have a brother as well, even though he has half-sisters, that's amazing.
John Ngala, CBC News, Montreal.
A teen social media ban begins later this week in Australia, but major platforms are already shutting down thousands of accounts of users under the age of 16. And some people think Canada could follow suit. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson reports.
It's been an emotional few days for many Australian teens as Meta started shutting down 500,000 Instagram and Facebook accounts for people under 16.
For me, it was my community and my lifeline.
Australia is bringing in the world's first teen social media ban, with companies facing multi-million-dollar fines if they don't take reasonable steps to comply. Australia's initial list of platforms includes 10 well-known sites. Each will decide how it confirms ages with options like video verification or submitting government-issued ID. This tech analyst says Australia is a litmus test for the rest of the world.
If Australia can pull it off, you can bet that Canada is going to be pushing a similar agenda here at some point in the new year.
So you know when Australia is implementing the...
Jenny Perez would like Canada to heed Australia's example. Perez is a founder of Unplugged Canada, advocating for limits to children's access to social media.
Australia leading this international movement is giving hope to everybody. Many parents felt defeated. They felt that it was too late to change. It was too late to change the norm.
But others argue that an outright ban might make social media more enticing.
I think we're at risk of creating a bit of a forbidden fruit aspect to social media.
Even among teens, there's no consensus.
Like they're on screens a lot, like younger kids, and I feel like it's not really good for them.
I use social media a lot for like sports. A lot of coaches can like find you and scout you through Instagram and stuff.
The Trudeau government tried to put some guardrails on social media companies with a controversial online harms bill, but it never passed after concerns over free speech. A spokesperson for the federal justice minister says they hope to bring an updated bill before the end of the year with measures to combat extortion, sexual exploitation, and deepfakes. But they did not say how it would address social media. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
From the football field to the Christmas tree lot, it's a holiday touchdown for families in need. More on that straight ahead. Flu numbers are rising across the country, and health officials are concerned. Some hospitals are seeing a surge in severe cases among kids, most of whom haven't been vaccinated. And as Selena Alders explains, the worst may be yet to come.
Flu cases in Canada are climbing fast, and kids are being hit hard. At Ottawa's Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, or CHEO, 8 times more children tested positive for influenza in November compared to the same time last year. Twice as many pediatric patients needed to be hospitalized, and CHEO says most of the kids coming into its ER haven't had a flu shot.
We did see, I think, close to 300 patients coming through our emerge in one day, which is a significant increase.
The Montreal Children's Hospital ER was quiet until mid-November, but it's now seeing a surge in patients, many with flu-like symptoms.
5 to 7 days of fever, cough, malaise, pain in the joints, some headaches, some vomiting.
National data shows positive pediatric tests for influenza A have jumped significantly across the country since October.
My son's had it 3 times now.
Michelle McPhail and her son have been homesick with what she calls their worst case of flu ever.
We'll just let it run its course. I don't think we will get the flu shot.
We do ask our patients and families when they come to the emergency department whether or not they've received the flu vaccine.
Although this year's flu vaccine is not a perfect match with the emerging H3N2 influenza strain, health officials say it still helps.
We know that vaccines can provide some protection against the severity of disease, prevent deaths, prevent hospitalizations, and that's really important. So the message is the same: to get vaccinated.
With peak flu season still weeks ahead, healthcare professionals warn now is the time to take precautions to help ease some of the pressures on the healthcare system. Selena Alders, CBC News, Halifax.
All right, Riley's back in now. And Riley, I was just joking with you that I've moved to indoor walking as we get cold. And I was hoping maybe the dog would do the same, but we do know they need to go out.
You just need the second walking pad.
I know, I just need one beside me. It is booty season, that is for sure.
Oh yeah, saw on the weekend, a couple of dogs with the jackets on and the earmuffs.
It's cold.
Whole 9 yards. It's going to be another chilly one tomorrow. Let's take a look at your dog walking forecast for tonight. And we have a fan of the show who is Callie, very, very closely watching this dog walking forecast. Thank you, Angela. I also got a picture from her. The cat's now excited about the dog walking forecast too. So thanks for your pictures. Looking at -13, cloudy skies to start in Winnipeg, more so into the western part of the province is where we're looking at that snow starting as we get through tomorrow, which I'll break down in just a moment here. By the time we get to the afternoon in Winnipeg, that's when we start to see periods of light snow beginning, lasting through the evening before we see it tapering off as we get into the morning hours on Wednesday here. So I thought it was a good time to review the color-coded weather alerts that Environment Canada has moved to, because I was talking about that a little bit earlier with that yellow level winter storm watch. And what that means on this 3-tiered system is that we are looking at the potential for hazardous or significant weather that could cause damage, localized in nature or short term. In this case, we are looking at this system wrapping up within about 24 hours or so. If it was going to last longer or there was the potential for power outages, for example, we might see that as an orange winter storm watch or warning. So we are looking at the potential for up to 20 centimeters of snow as we get through the day tomorrow, really for all of western Manitoba into the Parkland, Pilot Mound, McGregor, Austin, Killarney, for example. So take that into consideration if you have any highway travel to do, particularly over the next 24 hours, even into the morning hours on Wednesday here. We are looking at pretty messy conditions to the west on the western side of the province. Temperatures today across the province, closer to seasonal. We should be around -9 for this time of the year, getting up to -10 in Winnipeg, Gimli -12, -21 in Lynn Lake, -19 in Thompson through the afternoon hours. As we head through the overnight hours in the extreme southwestern corner, this is where we do have the chance of seeing maybe a few periods of freezing rain through the overnight hours into the early morning on Tuesday. Otherwise, temperatures -14 to -16 Across the south, we start to see that snow moving into parts of the west overnight tonight. Temperature in Churchill rising overnight, starting at -25, getting up closer to -21 or -22 into the morning tomorrow. Slim chance that we do get into some flurries through Flin Flon, The Pas, OCN, Grand Rapids, but for the most part, this is staying south as we get through the day tomorrow. Already into the snow first thing in the morning for the western part of the province, and as we get through the day, Brittany, this does push further east, and we're looking at snow continuing into the evening.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, Manitobans love hockey and an outdoor rink. So when you combine the two with the city's favorite NHL team, excitement starts to skyrocket. The NHL is bringing back outdoor hockey to Winnipeg next year as the city gets ready to host another Heritage Classic game in October. CBC's Gavin Axelrod reports.
The NHL is bringing outdoor hockey back to Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets and Montreal Canadiens will play in the Heritage Classic on October 25th, 2026, right here at Princess Auto Stadium. This will be the second time Winnipeg has hosted the Heritage Classic.
Go Jets, go!
They lost to the Edmonton Oilers in 2016.
The shot, he scores!
The festivities also included an alumni game, where hockey legends suited up for their teams one more time.
Number 99, Wayne Gretzky. The Finnish Flash, Teemu Selänne.
3 years later, the Jets played in the Heritage Classic again,
Scores!
beating the Calgary Flames in overtime at Mosaic Stadium in Regina. Excitement is now building in Winnipeg for the 2026 Heritage Classic.
We get a bad rap for not being a place where people want to come and go to big events like this. And I think we've proven them wrong with the recent Grey Cup and the playoff push last year with Jets and stuff. So it's good for the city.
The news was made official on Saturday night. Details about the game were posted online days earlier, then taken down.
It's the worst kept secret here. But it's, again, nice that the league is recognizing that Winnipeg is a place for an event like this.
Jets fan Leanne Carlson sees the event as a chance to show off the city for visitors.
Lots to do and great places to see and to eat, and I think it'd be a good way to really showcase what we have to offer.
Had a practice today?
Former Winnipeg Jets goalie Joe Daly agrees.
It really does something for a city. That type of event is cherished by franchises, and so I'm glad we're getting it again.
The NHL says details including when fans can get tickets will be announced at a later date. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers say on their website there will be pre-sale opportunities before the rest of the tickets become available in February. Fans can also sign up online for updates about the festivities on the NHL's website. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
For the past 46 years, the Winnipeg Y Service Club has been selling Christmas trees with money going to help those in need. But for volunteers like those from one high school football team, it's also something to look forward to. Shannon Vidal has their story.
This one here's probably got a little more weight to it. It's a little bit bigger base. Yep, no, that's a good one. That's a nice one there. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
My name is Brad McKay. I've been with the Winnipeg Y Service Club for 31 years. Well, this school is in my community. My kids went here. I'd always wanted to teach here. And so I spent 4 years teaching here. And Dan Washnick, the coach, he and I were in the same department, English department. And in 2011, he was talking about fundraising for the football team. And I said, hey, how about coming and selling Christmas trees for a weekend? I've had former students of mine from other schools that I've taught in come out here, and they just have a ball. They love the fire barrel. They love the trees. It's like Christmas arrives for them, as it does the day that our trees arrive for us. Christmas arrives. So it's that time of year.
Right now, there's multiple shifts where it's out of 3 people, 4 people are going. Everybody wants to do tree sales. It's so fun. I love making people smile while I volunteer and help them out with the trees. I like knowing that I'm helping out the football program doing this too. So let's say there's someone that's on the poor side. Football, football is more of an expensive sport. They can't afford everything and they want to play football. I think if you want to play football, you should be able to play football. And doing this could help people get discounts when they can't afford everything.
There's the idea that
we want them to be leaders in the community, and leadership is sacrifice, the idea of giving back time, giving back effort, giving back energy. And this kind of generosity, have an opportunity to give back to the community, is such a valuable life skill that just translates on the field, which is kind of my primary focus for a couple months a year, but more importantly in their long-term lives, which is my focus every other month year as they move on and out of our program and into the community.
We give money for kids to rent musical instruments. We bought running shoes for kids who can't afford them for phys ed classes. We give a $500 scholarship to 4 different high schools in the community. We have bought insulin pumps. When I give a check to a kid and you see that smile, that's enough. That's what binds you to what we do. So that's why I'm still here.
Still ahead, we take you to Europe's top Christmas market. And if you're a fan of the holidays, you'll want to put this one on your bucket list. Stay with us. It was a record-setting Make the Season Kind for CBC and Harvest Manitoba. On Friday, programming on all local CBC platforms raised money for Harvest Manitoba. Once all the donations were counted, nearly $517,000 was raised. That's about $14,000 more than last year.
It was great to be getting those calls in all day, donors that were matching funds, some donors, longtime donors, first-time donors, some great challenges to retired teachers and Rotarians, and I know they were coming through. So again, it was a fabulous day.
And the money donated goes a long ways. Harvest can turn $1 into $10 worth of food because of deals it makes with suppliers and retailers.
All right, still a little bit of snow falling into parts of southeastern Manitoba, into northwestern Ontario as this slips southeastward through the night. 2 to maybe 4 centimeters on the high end into parts of northwestern Ontario through the evening tonight. As we look at the long-range forecast, looking at temperatures around -9 in Winnipeg tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 4 centimeters during the day. This starting closer to the afternoon hours for Winnipeg, for example, but maybe another 2 to 4 coming as we get overnight into Wednesday morning before that tapers off. And then temperatures fall in behind this. -13 for Wednesday, -15 for Thursday. We do get a bit of clearing as we get high pressure setting in for Friday into Saturday. Temperatures in the afternoon, Saturday -21, ahead of maybe another weak clipper that pushes through Sunday into Monday. The snowmobilers will love that in the West. Well, there are Christmas markets, and then there are award-winning Christmas markets.
Tonight, we take you to Europe's top Christmas market, where one city really comes alive with thousands of lights and, of course, all the holiday cheer anyone could ask for. Here's your Daily Lift. Well, this market in Croatia's capital has been ranked the best in Europe 3 times in the past. The sprawling winter attraction covers much of Zagreb's city center, turning it into a glittering wonderland. Visitors can wander around lighted walkways and pop into holiday-themed market stalls.
You can also stop to fuel up on Croatian sausages, cabbage rolls, and sip rakja before catching a live performance. The iconic ice rink also draws in thousands who lace up for a spin. How long does it take up to set up all of those strings of lights?
I don't know, but I love it.
You have to start that in July.
I love holidays. We love Christmas. Send us all of your Christmas lights. We'd love to see them. Have a great night.
See ya.